Hey guys, this is you from the Coffee Fukuoka channel. Today's video is not going to be like the normal videos. Today's video is kind of like an announcement and also a little bit of help that I need from you guys. So basically I am planning to make a coffee course for beginners, and it's basically it's called a practical guide to making delicious coffee at home. And it's going to be mostly focused on beginners, but it's also going to contain a lot of useful information for intermediates and like advanced people. So basically, if you want to really make good coffee at home, and you really want to improve your like levels, or you want to know how to get started in everything, then this course is kind of going to be for you. I'm gonna be sort of explaining what kind of contents I have in this course. I've already finished almost all of it, but I also still want some kind of a feedback from you guys, because I also want to know what kind of questions I should include in my course. So before we get there, first I'd like to show you what this is about. So let's begin. Alright guys, so I don't know if this is going to be the title, or I don't know if this is going to be like the cover. I might make a cool little artwork for this. We'll see. But this is how it is: Coffee Fukuoka, a practical guide to making delicious coffee at home. And basically the way you can use this guide is you have a practical guide, which is going to be a PDF. So it's going to be this PDF when you buy it. And it's going to come with like an exclusive video series, and you can access those video series when you click on the main title of each PDF file on each topic. So basically not all the rest of the people who watch the videos, they will not be able to access it, but the people who have bought this course will be able to check out all of the videos. And right now I have about 20 videos, I think, and I'm planning to make 100. So meaning that after you buy it, you can see more new content coming up, which is pretty good, I think. And let's go to the table of contents. So this is going to be pretty much the secret sauce of everything. I first introduce how you can make coffee. I show you my way, meaning how I make it. So I usually make two types of coffee, which is French press and pour over. So I first go into detail about the tools that you might need and how I actually choose French press. When I'm trying to buy a French press, what do I look for? Those kind of things. And after that, I also show you online, if you're buying online, what you need to like be careful of, those kind of things. And yeah, what you want to find in a really good French press, because sometimes they are the ones which are not really good, which only look really good, but it doesn't have any usability, those kind of things. So you want that to be perfect. And I also show you two different techniques to make French press, and both of them, they've been inspired by people who I know. And one technique is going to be something that I made. I feel that this is really nice for this type of a situation, and they are both going to be meant for different situations. But yeah, so that's the French press. And then the pour over is going to be pretty much the same format as the French press. The only thing that's different is obviously how you choose your dripper, how you choose your kettle, and then the techniques. Sorry guys, I actually have one more technique here, technique 3. So for the pour over, I will show you guys 3 techniques. If you've been watching my videos, you'll probably already know maybe 1 or 2 techniques, because I did talk a lot about them. But I've gone into a lot more like details on how exactly I do it. And basically, I don't really think that you have to follow this, but this is just a good framework to begin with, so that you can then adopt your own style. I think in the end, everyone should have their own style, because that's more important. You know, you should be able to feel good about the way you pour your own coffee. So feel free to like copy this, but I would suggest that in the end, try and make it into your own different style. And you know, you should also test out different the techniques which I introduce, and you should see which one fits you the most, because you know every technique fits everyone else. Like it's different for everybody. So I feel that yeah, that's what you should do. All right, moving on. We go to when you buy the coffee. So when you're buying the coffee, what do you want to look out for? Because when you buy coffee, there's a lot of things to see. So for example, these the types of coffee. Do you want like blends? Do you want single origins? What do you want? And then what to try first. So let's say you go to a coffee shop and you want to either buy a coffee or you want to drink coffee. What do you want to try first? You know, there's something there which is, I guess, important, which you should maybe keep in mind. And then I also go through the variety of coffee. So coffee, usually we have, you know, in the previous video or this previous video, I mentioned the Robusta coffee. So nowadays we only have Arabica coffee sold in the coffee shops. So inside of the Arabica coffee, you have so many different varieties. And what kind of varieties are there? Or like, why do we have that many varieties? So I sort of explain about that. And then we have processing methods. So you will usually find like washed or natural, some kind of, you know, a processing method. And I go into a bit of detail about what it means basically. And then we have purchasing the beans. So when you're purchasing the beans, what do you have to look out for? I explain a few important things, and I also link you to a blog post of mine, which is pretty important. And then we go through the roast degrees. The roast degrees is going to be something very important, because that's the language of the roasters. And if you know that, that means that you'll be easily able to communicate with the barista or the roaster there, so you can get exactly the roast that you want. How fresh after roasting. So what's the best time to buy the coffee, or when is it the best time to, you know, grind it and then, you know, drink the coffee? Those kind of things I explain. And then what are flavor profiles? So flavor profiles is another different, like, I guess, subject, but I try and explain it a bit easier, and how you can even like do it at home. I think I didn't include it, but I also talk about cupping, like how do you cup the coffee. More for like beginners, I guess, not the professional way, but still how you can cup and you can compare the coffee. That's also going to be really informational. And otherwise, I've also put these huge topics, I guess, like the types of water, and then coffee grinds, like what kind of grinds you can get, and what is maybe good for French press, pour over, those kind of things. Is the bloom important? Because, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you should wait and make sure that the coffee blooms, but why, you know? And the paper filter, we are going to talk about whether you need the paper filter, or sorry, whether, yeah, it's important or not, and the types of paper filter. And we also have how to fold the paper. I also actually have a video on how you can fold the paper properly, because there's actually a bit of this kind of like I guess a science behind it. And then wetting the paper. Do you need to wet the paper or not? And if you want to wet the paper, how do you wet the paper? Then we go into, do you need a server? You know, some people like a server, some people don't. So what about you? Do you need it or not? Those kind of things. Dripper shapes. We've got about 3, maybe even more shapes, and what makes them unique, or what kind of characteristics you can expect from extracting coffee in those cup shapes. And then we have the relationship of TTG. So TTG is basically time and time, temperature, and grind. So what kind of relationships, what kind of relevancies are there in those 3 things, and how does it change the taste of coffee? So I give you a really cool little graph that you can sort of follow to make sure that you don't over extract or under extract your coffee. And then we also talk about storing coffee. So what are the like best ways to store your coffee when you buy the coffee? So yeah, guys, this is kind of what I've been sort of working on this, I guess, this past month. And I've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of hours, and been trying to find like the best way to sort of communicate all the knowledge that I have sort of gained over these about 3 years on coffee, so that you guys can, it can be easier for you guys to understand and then implement them, and then have a really cool little coffee experience at home, because for me, like, having a good coffee at home is like super important. And yeah, if that's important to you, then that's great. But yeah, so basically, guys, what I would like to do is I will be making this course, I will be finishing up this course probably by next week, and I'll be able to sell to you guys by next week. But what I also want to include in this is your guys' questions. I feel that it's important that I can also answer your questions and put them inside this guide, because it's important, and also maybe you guys will have a lot of questions which might be similar, and I can then make sure that that's answered already in the guide. And what I would like to do is I'm going to leave a link down below. It's going to be like a form where you just type in the question, and you can also leave your name. So if you leave in your name, I will also put your name in the coffee guide, which is pretty cool. You'll find your name in the coffee guide. So that's what I would like to ask from you. I would really appreciate it if you have any questions, and you can give me your question. And what I'll do is I'll probably answer a good amount of questions. I might not be able to answer all the questions, but the ones that I find the most, I'll probably answer them. And some really good questions, I'm going to also answer them for you guys. Alright, guys, I hope this got you excited. And another thing that I would also like to tell you guys is if you are already a subscriber to my email through getting the ebook and everything, make sure that you check your spam folder, because maybe when I've been already messaging you guys, you haven't been able to get the messages because it's in the spam folder. So if it is in the spam folder, go to spam, check it, and put my probably my website as not spam or something like that. Then you'll be able to get my messages in the future. And the reason that I'm telling this now is because when I release my my course, it's going to be better for people who are subscribed to my email list, because they will get a better sort of a deal compared to the people who are only watching my videos, or the people who are not subscribed to my email list. So just a hint to you guys. Alright, guys, I hope this was really well, this was I hope this was a really sort of exciting type of video for you guys, and I'm going to be really appreciative of the questions that you give me and that you send me. Alright, guys, I will see you in the next coffee video. See you.